Good morning. Today is finally the day. We are getting into this kitchen garden. Oh, finally. It's been a long time coming. So we're definitely going to do this together. Gosh, the weeds just grow so quickly. But first things first, I wanted to show you, we planted, I'm just walking around, going to plant these mini roses today. I wanted to show you how this is settling in. So we planted this together in, I think, the last video. Look at how gorgeous it looks now. All the yellow flowers are so happy. Even the little petunias. Gosh, looks absolutely stunning. Gorgeous pop of colour in this little corner here. So it's looking really lovely. But I'm not going to procrastinate any further. We are going to get stuck into this garden bed. And what I think we're going to do it in a few steps. I think step one is just going to be to clear out all of this, sort of all the weeds here. I'm going to pull out the straw flowers. I am probably going to leave those leeks in there, and I am going to leave the spring onions in there. I'll just tidy up this area a little bit. So that's going to be sort of step one, is kind of clearing all of this out. And then once I've got it cleared out, we are going to put the Morpheus compost on, and then we're going to put the organic sort of soil over the top of that, and we're going to really give it a good mix through. And then we're going to kind of see how it looks at that point. But that is the plan of action for today's video. Oh, I just cannot even, It's been a long time coming. I'm very excited to get into this and get it looking just lovely. It's always so nice when you've got your fresh soil and your fresh compost in there, and you have all your little seedlings starting, and it's always such a happy time. So I think what I might do, clearing all of this is definitely the unfun part. So I think what I'll do is pop you on a tripod, and then I'll pop you on a time lapse just while I get stuck into this, and then I'll show you the end result once it's all cleared out, and then we'll go and we'll get the compost and the potting soil and we'll bring all of that around, and then we'll do that sort of, and just have a look and see where it's all at. Let's get you all set up and let's get me into this garden. Okay, so that is the clearing out done. It's as clear as it's going to get. I'm not being too precious about the little, bits of leaves and things like that. Once I've got the compost and the soil on, you won't even see that. It'll just be added mulch. But yes, it's looking very good. And you can sort of see I've left in the leeks because they're doing really well. I also have left this little fern. We have a lot of ferns that sort of self-seed and just grow, and so this one's just been growing really well there for quite a while now. So I'm just going to leave that in there. And I've also left in this spring onions. As you all know, I eat a lot of spring onions. So I've got some new spring onion seedlings to pop in, but I'm going to keep this crop here so that I've kind of got that succession going. My little rosemary plant did not do very well with the straw flower there. It didn't like being sort of crushed in amongst all the straw flowers, so hopefully it will fluff back out and be happy. But this is kind of the state currently. I've also got Mum here today, and she's just helping out. You all know I bought a number of plants recently at the garden centre, and so she's just helping out with potting up a few of the flowers and things. So she's actually potting up one of the new mini rose, a gorgeous light pink one with an absolutely just incredible scent to it. So she's just potting that up. So I thought I'd just really quickly show you that. So this is the mini rose here. Forgive the fact that it needs a desperate deadheading, but just so that you can see the variety. So it's just a rose scented peach. So it's that really gorgeous peachy pink color. The scent is incredible. And if I zoom in there, and then we're going to be adding it to this pot here that already houses two varieties of mini roses, a sort of an apricot one and a red one. So Mum's just going to be putting it in there and then just topping up the soil in this pot. So that's going to look incredible. Look at all these beautiful yellow roses. Look at this one. Isn't that stunning? And so then Mum's just topping up the soil. So what we are using at the moment for sort of topping up soil and that is a combination of the Compost Morpheus, which is a locally kind of crafted compost, as well as an organic potting mix. So we're just doing a combination mix of that. I think about 1 handful of the Morpheus because it's quite concentrated, and then 3 handfuls of the potting soil. And hopefully that will add some much needed nutrients to all of the pots. So while Mum is finishing off here, I'm gonna head around and start gathering up the compost and the potting soil that I'm gonna need for the kitchen garden beds. Mum has also been doing all the rose maintenance today. So this little shrub here has had a very hard prune back. I'm going to be honest, I cannot think of what that is called. I think I'm completely lost. I may not even be able to link it on screen for you. I will work out what this is called and I will tell you in a future video. But these here, I'll try and move so I'm not blocking it. You can see they've got the fresh compost and soil at the bottom, and they're all just starting. These are the multicolored ones. They're looking really healthy and happy. And then just over here in the back corner, we've got those ground cover roses just doing the absolute most with the blooming. We've got the really pretty pink, and then we've got the popcorn white. So it's got like the little yellow center, if you can see there. So the yellow center and then the beautiful white petals around it, thus named the popcorn color. All right, I did show you in the previous vlog, but I will show you just quickly again in case you haven't seen this one. This is Red Soil Organics, and this is the Morpheus compost that we're using. It is actually new. New to me, I should say. It's new to me. I've never used this compost before. We went to a local kind of independently owned garden center, and they just highly recommended this product. It's really concentrated. It's like a living compost. So they were sort of saying, you know, you don't need a lot of it. Make sure you dilute it with potting soil. So we're definitely going to be giving this a try this growing season. And I'm very hopeful that it is going to improve the soil quality that I have. I mentioned it several times now, but that's really been my, you know, I think I have goals for the growing seasons, and this growing season it has definitely been to really improve my soil quality so that I'm getting really delicious produce, and I'm getting, you know, good size produce, and I'm getting that real succession of things. So I'm doing everything I can to try and improve the quality. So I'm really hopeful that this is going to assist with that. So that is the compost that I'm using. And then this is the potting mix, the organic potting mix that I'm going to be mixing in to the kitchen garden beds along with that compost. I have been using this for several years now, really happy with it. You can see I've got quite a stack of it. I'm going to need several bags, I figure. So yeah, I'm just going to start hauling this all over to the kitchen garden, and then we will get going with topping everything up. All right, so I've got my soil, I've got my compost all ready to go. I've also got a kind of a garden rake just down there, because we do need to really rake up the soil and mix the compost through. So I think now that the beds are all cleaned, the next thing we're going to do is put the compost in. I think we'll do the layer of compost first, and then we'll start topping it up with all the soil. It pretty much is what it is. We have been told it is a live compost, and that they recommended we wear a face mask when we do put it on. So we are going to do that. Mum is going to help me out with that, and we're just going to lay the compost down, and then we'll top up with the soil, and then I'll kind of show you, I'll pop you on a time lapse while we're doing that, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end there. All right, so we have done the compost, and we've done this sort of top layer of soil. The next thing I'm going to quickly do is just pop back in these tomato, my little makeshift tomato trellises. I'm just going to get those back in that corner over here, and then I'll give you a bit of a close-up. And then the last step that I'm going to do today with you is test the irrigation. We purchased some new sprinkler heads to trial maybe a week or two ago now, so we might just pop that on a few of these, and then we'll turn it on and we'll kind of see what the coverage is like, but I'll do that with you in a moment. But let's get these tomato sort of stakes in, and yeah, we are progressing. compost is in, topsoil is on, it's all been mixed around a little bit, and it is looking fantastic. Oh, it makes me so happy when it looks like this, all fresh and beautiful, just waiting for all the little seedlings to go in. I'm not going to do the seedlings today. I will do that in the next video with you. I just kind of want to give the soil and the compost a couple of days just to bed down. I'll put the irrigation on and we'll sort of get water going through the new soil and things like that before I put the seedlings in. But it is looking so good. A couple little points too. Mum is asthmatic. So often, if she's using things like compost and, you know, soils and things like that, she does wear a face mask just so she's not breathing in the fumes. One. And two, if you're wondering why my hat is not fitting properly on my head and it feels quite like sort of like it's sitting just on the very top of my head, that is because my hair is in a bun on top of my head. And so the hat is kind of just perched on that bun. It just means that I don't have hair around my neck. It is quite warm today. We have an absolutely gorgeous day, but it is a little bit warm. So I just don't want to have my hair around my neck or anything. So the hat kind of just perches on top to protect me from the sun. But isn't this just looking so incredible? Nice and fresh, lovely. Really beautiful day today. I can hear lots of other people out in their gardens. We've been having such great weather. Definitely a really lovely cool breeze. Beautiful blue skies with the nice white fluffy clouds. And some gorgeous gardening. Alright, so the last little step I'm going to do today, I'm going to test these irrigation, and we might actually trial the new ones that I got the other day. I might just have a look at what the current sort of status quo is and how they're all kind of working, make sure they are all working, and then we will select, I think I bought two or three new sprinkler heads to trial, so we'll select a few of these and we will test them out. Alright, irrigation is on. And you can see this one here has got some great coverage, as does this one here in the back. And this one here has also got really good coverage, and that one there. So this end looks really good. Sorry, I'm just trying to take some, although I don't love that this bit here is missing. And then down here, not getting good coverage at all. This one's pretty much not working. This one is sort of working, but this whole section here you can see is not getting any sprinkler at all. And that one down there also seems to be struggling. And that is where the tomatoes are going to go. Also, I don't know if I showed you properly, the little tomato structure here. That one is working, so maybe I trial swapping this one and this one. And I wonder if I've got a different sprinkler head for this one here. Alright, I'm going to have a little rummage around in the potting shed and I'll just see what I have. And then I'll come back and we will try swapping some of these out and see if we can get some better coverage. So just very quickly to explain, I realized afterwards I didn't show you this little green bit here. That is the sprinkler head. So you have like your irrigation and things, and then you can buy all different little irrigation heads there. Sometimes they get blocked and things, you can swap them out. You can get them that do water 360, only 180 degree. It kind of depends what you're looking for in this space. But so we've just done a little switcheroo of some of the sprinkler heads in the kitchen garden. And I'm going to turn it on now and hope that all the spaces are now covered. Apologies, my camera battery just died, so I don't know where I got to explaining. So this one here is one that we've just swapped, and you'll remember that this whole corner of the bed wasn't getting any water, but now with this 360 degree, it is now getting the water there. These ones are all good. We've also just swapped this with one of the other sprinkler heads, and that is getting really good water there. You can tell with how wet the soil is. This one is also doing really well. These are all looking good. That is one of the new ones down there, and that is also doing really well in that space. Everything's getting a good amount of water there, as is the one. So we actually just swap. This sprinkler head was on this one here, and we've just swapped them around. So yes, everything in the kitchen garden is now getting great coverage with the irrigation. Very happy with that. All right, well, my camera battery dying is, I'm sure, my camera's way of saying this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to leave it here. We have had a ridiculously productive morning in the garden. I am so happy that I have got all this done. In my opinion, doing the clear out and getting all the topsoil and putting all the compost in the beds and stuff, that's kind of the worst bit, I think, personally. I love putting in all the little seedlings and putting the seeds in and watering them and watching it grow. So I'm very much looking forward to that part of it. But I'm just, yeah, so happy. It looks really fresh now, nice and tidy. And I thought, before I bid you farewell, I might just quickly go around and show you a couple of the other little bits and pieces that we did today. And I also wanted to show you, I think I showed you one of the pots earlier this morning that we planted in Wednesday's video. You're watching this on Friday. I kind of just wanted to show you how those plants, or like the flowers and that, settled in. So I'm going to walk around really quickly now and just show you that. But oh, nice and fresh and clean, all tidy. So I'm pretty sure I showed you this morning, but these are the flowers that we planted up with Mum in Wednesday's video. Look at how well they have settled in. All the flowers are blooming open now, and they will continue to grow over the weeks and fill out this pot beautifully. So that is just looking incredible. And you saw Mum pot up this new mini rose in this pot here. She also, I can see, went around and topped up these pots with fresh soil and compost. Gosh, they're looking so good. I love this time of year when everything is just looking really fresh and healthy. Getting all those beautiful blooms. Just a little bit of deadheading to do here. And then obviously we did this together today with Mum's help. Getting this all ready for the seeds and the seedlings to go in. Ooh, I can see Mum has done deadheading on this rose here. Goodness, she was doing all the roses today. These pretty little apricot blooms, the sun jewels, they are just looking, they're self-seeded. Incredible. I don't know where they have come from, but they are looking so good. Water feature out here. I'm pretty sure I showed you the roses in this section. Mum was also in here today, just tidying everything up. Topping everything up with fresh soil and compost. That's looking really good. And this was the other one that I wanted to show you. So in Wednesday's video, we also planted these flowers in this really sweet little statue. And you'll remember they were just a little bit sad at having been transplanted and the flowers were quite closed. But look at them now. Look how happy they are. Gosh, they've got those really pretty sort of deep yellow centers and then the little butter yellow petals. A much needed pop of colour in this little corner of the garden. Alright, I'm going to bid you farewell. I hope you have an incredible Friday and a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for joining me this week. So next Wednesday, we're going to get into that kitchen garden together and we're going to plant a bunch of seeds and all the seedlings that I bought when we went to the garden centre, which is going to be so exciting. I'm keen to get the spinach in that I've been growing at the potting shed side, and just keen to get all the tomatoes and the beetroots and, have all these little seedlings in these fresh beds. And so we'll do that in Wednesday's video, and then I actually probably will need to go to the garden centre again, and I'll probably bring you along with me. I need to get some more soil. I've got several garden projects that I want to do, so I will bring you along for all of those. I've got a few little things I want to test out this season, and we will do them together. You will be in on all the fun and all the adventures and the trials and the tribulations of this sort of growing season. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed spending the morning with me. It was such a productive morning. And yeah, I'm going to see you in Wednesday's video. See you then. Bye.